What is up, everybody? My name is Nick, joined not by Matt, but by Burrow Oaks from FlashPicks and JD Gold Boys Discord, however you want to call it. You know him. He's our soccer analyst. I'm excited to have him on. We're going to talk some World Cup. Thank you for joining us. I know it's short last minute, but I appreciate it nonetheless. It's exciting to actually talk about some World Cup while USA is still in it. So.
No problem, man. I love talking soccer. I got, we're doing this. I got a show coming up after this, doing one tomorrow. This is, it's nice. Everybody tunes into the World Cup. Soccer kind of flies under the radar for guys who aren't overly passionate about it. But when the World Cup's on, everybody's looking for somebody who can give some insight. And that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah, excited to have you on. I'm more excited that we finally have an episode without Matt. My God, it's such a relief. I mean, you can't ask for much more. You really can't. I do have another guest later on that'll be coming on, but let's get right into it. Tell me a little about, for the people that don't know, that don't maybe new to FlashPicks or don't know about the JD Gold Boys Discord. Tell me a little bit about, how you came to be and how you enjoy soccer so much and everything about yourself, really.
So, obviously, sports gambling became legal, like in my state. I was living in Illinois at the time, from Chicago. So sports gambling became legal. Online sports books became legal during the pandemic, and there really wasn't a lot on other than soccer. I had never been a big soccer fan before that. Never played in high school. Certainly didn't play in college. Played FIFA on and off. So I liked it. And then I started understanding the rules of the game, became very passionate about it, started learning how to bet it, got some really good advice from JD, got some really good advice for some other people, and started with a really small bankroll, like $2.50, $5 plays. Linked up with some good buddies who I'm still friends with through Discord, Twitter. Found a couple of guys that were super passionate about MLS because it was the end of the season when soccer came back. So then I stayed into it, got into the MLS really heavily, made some good friends doing this, met my partner, Young Leg, who I do a show with now. We linked up, started doing a show together last year. It's been great. I talk to him every day. We talk shit about soccer. Calls me on his drive home. We talk about the matches, all sorts of stuff. So he's a great partner to have. I love making content. I love, soccer. I love handicapping. I really enjoy what I do. I'm primarily soccer. That's my main focus. I love college basketball. I used to love college football, but I can't really handicap it anymore because Saturday's big soccer day. So I don't get to watch anything but like late games in college football. So kind of had to admit to myself this year and take a step back and focus on what I'm best at, and as opposed to trying to instead of trying to cover two things poorly, just get really good at covering one thing.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I'm just jealous that you have a nice partner that's probably good looking and nice and not full of crap like Matt. No, I love Matt.
I do a show with Matt too. He's a great guy. He sees the game really well. He has a lot of angles. But Matt's going to talk to you with a level head and give you a very measured, great handicapper response. Whereas I try and do that, but I also am like mad passionate about the game, and that's what you get on 2 Foot Talk. It's me and Leg screaming at each other. Like my favorite part about doing the show is we start with FUs and we get all the bad beats and all the stuff we didn't like from last week off our chest. It feels really good, and then I'm like, all right, now I'm ready to attack the board. Like now I got confidence. I got all my bad takes out of the way. Let's hit some good ones.
Yeah, I might steal some of that advice because sometimes you just get so frustrated from the day before. It affects you the next day going into it, for sure. So let's talk about a couple things. Let's talk about the World Cup as a whole. Obviously, I mean, I think we could both agree Qatar didn't earn this. They paid for it.
Of course not.
It's FIFA. I mean, you just pay a bunch of money. I love the classic photo of when that guy is putting in the bid for the North Korea and then he throws up the cash, just the classic FIFA corruption photo. But I mean, the billions of dollars they spent on jets for France just recently came out, and there's a bunch of stuff. But come on, it's just absolutely absurd. The rules, whether it's the rain, obviously they have traditions and customs there. That's fine, but the conditions there look like just absolutely awful, whether it's those shipping containers, the no alcohol they announced at the last second, except for the people in the suites. Obviously you have enough money. The rules don't apply to you. But I'd love to hear kind of what your opinion is outside of the stadium and then so far the tournament as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was a lot of corrupt stuff going on with this. There's Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, I can't remember which one. No free ads, Netflix. By the way. Probably shouldn't have dropped the names, but somebody's got a documentary on this. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to wait until after the World Cup to watch it. I thought it was wrong to take the money. I thought it was really wrong to ask these players to do this in the middle of their season. The clubs agreed. They sent these guys over. But the problem is like this, guys are playing hurt. Like you just saw Dustin Vahulovic go out there and give you 55 minutes and scored a goal for Serbia. Juve pays him $100 million. Like they're not happy that man's running out there on one knee, causing injury to himself because Juve, they have their own problems. Their board just stepped down. There's some corruption stuff about to come out against them, but that's nothing new for Juve. And these guys have been in the Scudetto conversation every year for the past decade. Like Juve is not happy that they're not sitting top 4 of the Italian table right now. And Napoli is running train on everybody in Italy. So this is tough for the players. It's tough for the clubs. It's, as a fan, we're getting robbed of like awesome baddie cam that we had in Brazil, that we had in Russia. Like fans don't particularly want to go to this event. One, because I think I had a little camera issue, but one, because the travel, it's super expensive. Like it's going to be really difficult to get to and from Qatar. And then once you're there, you're basically camping in a tent, like out in the desert. So it's not the most comfortable of accommodations. And then, like you said, with the no alcohol sales that got torn away from everybody, like 48 hours before the cup, like I don't think that's going to go over super well. Budweiser invested $70 million to be the only alcohol sponsor at this event. I would say that that's a pretty big breach of contract that you're going to have to settle with Budweiser. Not that they're going to be mad about giving the money back, but it was shady business all around. And the thing that I look forward to most is it can't be set up any better for North America to absolutely crush this out of the park. Like we are getting the World Cup at the best possible time. You're putting it in Philly, you're putting it in Toronto, you're putting it down in Mexico. Like there's no way we can do worse than Qatar. So this is a layup for showing out for America. So that's what I really look forward to.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. We're at the bottom, so all you can do is go up, especially when we host it in the next 4 years. Guys, I want to talk about this. We're going to get right into the games. FlashPicks has an exclusive promo. It's a boost with DraftKings. It's really awesome. We're going to break it down real quick. There we go. You're back. A beautiful face. DraftKings is offering World Cup goal scorers for the knockout stage of the tournament. Boosted any any scores, anytime goal scorers, plus 100 for the goal scoring market. You get one per day, wagers up to $25. But for example, you can get Messi to score. He's currently versus Australia. It's minus 165. You can boost that to plus 135. It's for new and existing users, and it's once per day for the rest of the tournament. Obviously, you see the promo on the page that you're currently looking at, but this is just an awesome FlashPicks exclusive boost that we have going on right now. Check out the link in the FlashPicks Twitter account. That'll be coming out soon. But let's talk about it. Who do you want to use for Saturday's games? This nice plus 100 boost to any goal scoring bet.
I don't know how you fade my man Cody Gakpo for the Netherlands right now. Dude is red hot. He's got a goal in all 3 World Cup matches. If you watch this man play in Champions League, you know he's him. Like, this guy's tacked 30 million plus onto his transfer fee in this World Cup window alone. I am done trying to figure out what's going on with Memphis Depay and his injury, and Gakpo is him. He's the guy that's going to take the Netherlands to the promised land. As far as they're going to make it. Now, I'm not saying the U.S. doesn't stand a chance against them. I'm just saying that in 3 games, against the Netherlands, you're going to have to score more than 1 goal. We're good and our midfield is good, but we don't have the pace to go a 0-0 match for 120 minutes and take this to pens. We just don't have that kind of talent.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have a solid foundation. Obviously, we're one of the youngest, if not the youngest team. You can correct me on that in the field. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's a great position to be in. There's not that high of expectations overall, especially going in right now. But I mean, I feel great. Our defense, we haven't given up a non-penalty goal in the knockout round, but we've only scored 2 goals. So like, that's the problem. I feel like we're missing that 10 or 9, that playmaker.
Yeah, his name's Ricardo Pepe, and Greg left him off the roster. Like,
don't get me into that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, the problem is this team is very good, and they play together well as a unit. And I would argue that we're having success in spite of Greg Berhalter and not because of him. Seeing Carter Vickers on the field for the first time in a win-or-go-home situation against Iran, he played great. Like, this man plays for Celtic. Like, he ain't no joke. And you got Zimmerman back there, who I tore apart for his first 2 matches. But I'll stop right here, and I'll give him a nice little round of applause. He saved our asses for 15 minutes there at the end of the game and played good football. But we were playing defensive, don't lose this game football. And that really annoyed me, because we went from dominating the ball, dominating possession, and looking strong on the football to, oh, man, let's hold on for dear lives and not lose this game, when we were having a lot of success playing attacking football. And to me, it didn't look like guys were super tired. It didn't look like we were having any problems getting back. The last thing you want to do is give Taremi possession in your box and let him go to work, because that man is unreal. Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, who do you think Pepe would have replaced? Who would you have if you made the final squad? Who would you take out and add him?
He probably takes Jesus Ferreira's spot. And my problem, I don't have a problem with Jesus Ferreira. He's a very good striker. For MLS standards. My thing is, like, everyone say, oh, well, Ricardo Pepe is not in form. He had the second most goals behind Christian Pulisic to get us into this World Cup. Like, my problem is start tinkering with the roster of guys who got you here and the guys who gave you the production. That's where I have issue. It's like, okay, Ricardo Pepe, he got a bogus deal. He got a really raw shake when Dallas sent him over to Augsburg. Like, Augsburg paid a lot of money for him. They paid $25 million for him. So that was great for Pepe, and it was great for the club. But Augsburg was in no position to play him where he needed to be played. They were playing a 4-4-2, which doesn't require a true striker like Pepe. And their goal was not to get relegated from Bundesliga, not to win games. So they were playing very defensively, didn't play to Ricardo Pepe at all, didn't get much tick, came on a lot as a sub. it suffered. I mean, in my opinion, he needed to go to a club like PSV or Ajax, or sit behind somebody at Dortmund or Bayern or RB Leipzig or one of the more powerhouses in German Bundesliga to develop. I mean, the kid's only 19 and he's got 3 goals in World Cup qualifyings. The man deferred his nationality to the U.S. when he could be playing for Mexico right now, who this is the first time they've failed to qualify for knockouts in 6 World Cups. Think about that. This kid signed up to be on this team, and now we're snubbing him and leaving him at home. He can, he's not 21 yet. He can change and go play for the Mexican national team, who's got a lot of holes to fill. So I think it's not only disrespectful of us to change up tactics, but to leave him at home when we begged him to be on the squad is a complete other story that I don't think it's talked about enough.
Yeah, I think it sets a bad precedent for future players that might be deciding between nationalities, and they see what happens to him. And obviously, how much better could you be putting up 3 goals and qualifying? If that guy can get cut, then surely I can. Let's consider going to Mexico, whatever other nationality they might
Let's
be
talk
eligible
about the
for.
17-year-old Gianluca Busio, who played for SKC, Sporting Kansas City, and now is playing over at Venezia. They got downgraded to Serie B over in Italy, but I mean, he's an Italian and U.S. national. He's had some tick for the U.S. national team in the Gold Cup. That's not a dude you want walking over to Italy.
Yeah. Well, at least we make it to the World Cup,
Right.
That's a little blow there.
Yeah, I mean, not to be negative, not to bring down the vibes, but I mean, this is great, and this is great momentum. It's great to see us qualify. It was great to see us win that winner get in, go home situation. It was really awesome seeing us play England to a 0-0 draw. Our problem is we played down to the level of competition when we played Wales. We play down to the level of competition in spots where it's not ideal, which is, and I've been wrong about stuff before. I said coming into this World Cup, I thought Canada was the best team in CONCACAF. I still do. Canada, they had moments where they played really, really well. They just couldn't put it together for 90 minutes. That's what's going to happen when you got young youth squads who haven't been tested before. But, the World Cup only comes around once every 4 years. We're going to get another Gold Cup here in 2 years. We got to start playing. We got to start playing more. See, the problem is international friendlies don't raise our level of competition a whole ton because friendlies are friendlies. There's a reason Jose Mourinho said, I don't care about friendlies. Nobody does. So we got to find a way to start continuing to compete with higher class teams, which I think the MLS does a great job with the CCL and, us playing Mexican and Canadian teams. And, we just have to continue to improve our talent and our level of domestic competition and continue just pumping out talent to put abroad.
Yeah. Let's get right into the games, though. For Saturday, obviously, you have USA versus the Netherlands for the 10 a.m. game. And then later on, you have Argentina versus Australia. Do you have any bets for those 2 games in particular, or just any games left in the tournament that you can see coming up for the weekend?
Yeah, so I would strongly suggest that there's no way in hell that the USA are out of this tournament. They can definitely hang with the Netherlands. Netherlands have proven that they don't have the offensive firepower that I once thought they had. They got a tough 1-1 draw in their second game. The U.S. has been playing very, very good in midfield. Weston McKennie is an absolute dog. I know he's had a little knock on him, and people have been they kind of rotated him out. They didn't want him getting suspended on yellow card accumulation, blah, blah, blah. The man plays for Juve, all right? He plays in UCL, in the UCL. He's been to knockout rounds. Juve has the confidence to let him play for 90-plus minutes on a yellow. We should too. Sergio Dest has been an absolute baller for us. Like I said, I really liked how Carter Vickers played. Our problem is finishing, and like we said, we don't have an elite finisher in front of the net. Pulisic is doing everything I can. If we get a goal, he'll be involved. I'll split a unit on his goal and assist again. The fact that in that first game I got a Pulisic assist against Wales at plus 750 was absolutely absurd to me. So we cashed a nice little ticket on that. We obviously cashed a nice little ticket on his goal when they played Iran. That said, I love Gakpo. This kid's game has been insane. His transfer fee just keeps going up. He's definitely part of the future with the Netherlands. Frankie de Jong and his brother back there play excellent football. If you guys don't watch a lot of PSV and Ajax like I do, you should start, because if your thing is I don't like football because it's boring, PSV and Ajax score like 5 goals a game. They just get insane. They have a great youth academy. They get all this insane young talent from South America, Brazil, Argentina. They get all these, players and draft them early, put them in their academy. And their whole plan is like, we're going to do really good in our league and we want to compete for a Euros or a UCL spot. But like in reality, we're signing 19-year-olds to flip them for quadruple or more, or 10 times what we paid for them by the time they hit 23. And that's how those guys make a lot of money. And they do it very, very well. Dortmund does it very well. Bayern does it very well. RB Leipzig, Red Bulls has an ingenious system where they own a club in basically every country, and all it does is feed prospects to RB Leipzig. And you'll see, I believe in Kunku's got a deal going with Chelsea to go over there in this winter transfer window. So, these teams, they know what they're doing. In the Netherlands especially, they have excellent youth academies. They pump out talent like Gakpo. Gakpo at plus 180 still as a baseline is a little absurd to score. And the fact that we can put the plus 100 boost on him to get plus 280, that's a number I absolutely can't go without, because, even though I said I like how Dest has played, I like how Carter Vickers has played, Zimmerman's eventually going to get in there. If he's not starting, this back line can be gotten to, and Gakpo's the guy to do it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more as far as that's concerned. Let's cut right to the chase, though. Everybody wants to know who's winning the World Cup. It seems pretty open as far as the competition. You've had some upsets as far as Germany, and I really can't name any other teams because I don't follow along that much. It's all about USA. Who cares about everybody else?
Sure. I mean, another upset is that second game on Saturday. I mean, who thought Australia? If I told everybody on 2 Foot Talk when I did the show on Wednesday, if you had an Australia to advance ticket, tag me at Burroaks at 2 Foot Talk on Twitter. If you cash that ticket, I will send you one free Burroaks shirt. I mean, that's how big of an upset Australia qualifying was. Nobody thought Japan was going to make it, except for me. If you read my FlashPicks future article, we all cashed a nice little 3-1 future on that. Because I told y'all, Spain ain't them. They can't play with the big boys. Yeah, they put up 7 on Costa Rica. Costa Rica surprised me a little bit by beating Japan and then putting 2 goals in against Germany. I made the joke on Twitter that me, Brad Thomas, my partner Young Leg, and a couple other cappers, plus the first 6 people we picked off the street could beat Costa Rica. Like the fact that Costa Rica was in this tournament and got as many goals as they did, I was later impressed. But to see them in here and Italy sitting at home was a little upsetting to me. But Japan was a huge upset, so that was great. Morocco was a little bit of a sneaky upset. Switzerland was a little bit of a sneaky upset. Poland going in over Mexico was a little bit of a sneaky upset. That said, the team who I think is going to win it all, it's super chalk. It's Brazil. Brazil's B team is the second best starting 11 in this friggin' World Cup. That's how deep Brazil is. Like, the talent on Brazil is unreal. They gave up a goal today. It was like their 4th goal in, like, I don't know, like 28 friggin' caps. So, like, yeah, that Brazil team is just different. It's theirs to lose. Like I said, their B team probably makes qualifying. Outside of Brazil, if you're looking for a little bit of a longer shot, I really like what Portugal has going on. Yeah, I know Ronaldo's old. He's a little bit of a guy that sparks a little controversy. I don't think Argentina have the legs to do this. I just don't. Di Mira has been hurt for Juve. He's playing now. Dybala's hurt. Lautaro Martinez, he plays for Inter. He wasn't playing good enough to make the final match. He came on as a sub. Like, I just think Argentina's super banged up, and you're asking a past 30 going on 40 Messi to backpack this club to get a World Cup that he's never won before. I think that's asking a little too much out of Argentina, especially at the numbers I saw on them. Back months back when they were 10-1, that was probably a decent little play. When they were 5-1, absolutely not. I don't think they have the legs to do it. But this has always been Brazil's World Cup. They've got more World Cups than most countries have soccer matches played. That's obviously an absurd exaggeration, but they have the most World Cups out of anybody, and it's because they pump out just generational talents like it's nothing.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is basically soccer land down there. That's for sure. That and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? So that's like the two things they do down there. I just want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I know it was last minute. I wanted to talk some World Cup soccer. Let's do some shameless plugs. If people want to continue to follow your content, what are you bringing out? And, what kind of content can people look out for to help continue to follow you along?
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, every Wednesday night at 7:30 Eastern, I do 2 Foot Talk right here. 2 Foot Talk. That's our little badge.
The merch.
Shout out for Oaks. We got merch. We got everything. Like I said, my partner Young Leg and I, we start off by yelling about the things that we didn't like about last week, and then we get right into bringing you picks for the following weekend. We cover everything. He's a huge La Liga guy. I am too, obviously, with the Madrid flag. Shout out Vinny. Shout out Benz. Shout out Rodrigo. Shout out Militao. Shout out the whole gang. And then every Friday at 1 o'clock with Gold Boys on Gold Boys Network, I do Box to Box with McAfee. That's 1 p.m. Eastern. That show's really nice. We are able to go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. We cover all the weekend stuff, and then we wrap up. We get lineups as the Friday matches are getting ready to go out for club football. So you get confirmed lineups. We get to tell you some player props on that Friday, and then we leave you with a bunch of picks for the weekend. Those are kind of my shameless plugs. Follow me at Burrow77 on Twitter. Follow 2 Foot Talk at 2 Foot Talk. That's TWO Foot Talk. Other than that, I think it's going to be a great World Cup. I think we got some really nice prices on some other stuff that I didn't get to go in depth on. But, if you're getting this World Cup plus 100 boost for every game of the round of 16, Mbappe's minus 120. You can get him at plus 180. That's ridiculous. You have to take that. Louis, yes, he only has 1 World Cup goal. He's plus 280 to score against France. That France defense, mad leaky. Also, shout out my boy Rabiot. Keep looking at him for a shot on target when he starts, because if you watch him at Juve, you know that's how he plays. Hanging plus 250 on him for a shot on target is ridiculous.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for coming on. Guys, this has been our World Cup episode. Obviously, USA is going to win tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. But thank you again for coming on. We have Promo Guy coming up soon on college football championships. Have a great weekend. Bet responsibly. See you guys.